doing an experiment with Mentos and Coke. Now, a lot of you have seen this experiment before and you've seen it below, but do you know that you can actually do it as a science experiment? And to do it as a science experiment, you need to first of all have a hypothesis. So a hypothesis is basically an educated guess, an educated assumption of what you believe will happen based on criteria that you know. So my hypothesis today, because I'm doing an experiment between Diet Pepsi, regular Pepsi, Coke and Diet Coke, my hypothesis is because Mentos blows this pop up because of carbonation. When it hits the carbonation, there's nowhere for it to expand. It causes more carbonation in the pop and it blows the pop upward. But I believe that Diet Coke will explode higher because of the simple fact that Diet Coke has no sugar to stop the Mentos from dissolving. It has an artificial sugar. And then based on my belief with drinking Pepsi and Coke, I get a lot more carbonation out of Coke than I do Pepsi. So I believe the Diet Coke will explode the highest. That is my hypothesis today. Now I could be wrong. That's why we have a hypothesis and that's why we have an experiment to check. So we are going to check that out today and see. Now you have to have a procedure. And the reason that we have procedures when we do experiments, and you'll see this in every science experiment, is so that we cut down on variable. The only variables we should have are the differences in pops. We shouldn't have a lot of other variables because that really changes the experiment. So today we are putting exactly, how many Mentos do we have there, Jack? 5 Mentos. We bought them at the same time. They're expiring at the same time. We bought the pops from the same store. So, and at the same time, that way making sure we have the least amount of variable in soda and the least variable amount in Mentos. Now this experiment, you can just throw Mentos in and get back real quick, but I was lucky. I have these Steve Spangler tops that you can put the Mentos in and then we can pull them and they all go down about the same time. And we're going to try to do this as close as possible. Now today I have a helper, obviously. I have my nephew and my niece and my son. So Jack and Bryce and Missy are helping me do this experiment. We are all related, but for just today, because of the issues that we have out there today, we are trying to keep our 6 feet just to show that we're committed to all staying healthy while we're home. This experiment is one we've done in science fairs before. I'm telling you right now, kids, you've got to have your parents here when you do it. You also should be wearing safety glasses like Jack's wearing and like I'm wearing a safety glass. My son's wearing safety glasses. My niece is taping it, so she's totally safe. So she's going to tape it for us and we're about ready to release the bottles. And let's see if my hypothesis, which is this one, which is a big word, isn't it? When you look at the word hypothesis, it's a very large word. But my hypothesis is that Diet Coke's going to blow the highest. So let's see if I'm right. Are you ready? So we'll put this over here. And remember, we got to try to do it as quickly as we possibly can. I can't do it.
You don't pull red.
That helps, Jack.
3.
Well, I've had better blows on those before. But what I do know is this was my Diet Pepsi, this was my regular Pepsi, this was my regular Coke, this was my Diet. I don't know about you guys, but what I saw was the Diet Coke did blow higher. Therefore, my hypothesis is right. That based on the fact of the lack of sugar to slow down the dissolving of the Mentos and the fact that probably Diet Coke has a little bit more carbonation in it, caused a higher blow on the pop. Now I've seen these blow really high, but for whatever reason, we had our variable. Maybe it's the fact that the pop is a little cold. We bought it out of a freezer and maybe warmer pop would blow higher. Ours we bought out of a cooler, so maybe the cold slows down the process and the blowing of it up. When I blew it up before, I've had it up to 7 feet up past my house. But I'm kind of glad because it makes a big mess and nobody in the neighborhood is going to be ticked about that, nor my son or niece, as you can see in the last couple of seconds when we shut off. But I did want to make sure that you guys know, if you have any questions about the experiment that I did, please feel free to email me at Fusee, F-U-S-E-E, at stclaircounty.org, and it's stclaircounty.org, and it's all lowercase. You can ask me any questions you want there. Just so you know, we did try the one with the move the car. What we found out and why we didn't show it is because we believe the 2 liter is too heavy to move a car with inertia. So maybe we'll do that experiment at a later date. I want to thank Missy, my niece, and my nephew Jack, and my son Bryce for helping us do this today. Remember that this is an experiment you can do for a science fair, and you can, as long as you keep your hypothesis, decide what you're going to do, keep your procedure the same, you can change your variables. So like we could do different amounts of Mentos, we could do different kinds of pop. I chose Coke and Diet Coke, and Pepsi and Diet Pepsi because they're pops I commonly drink. So I knew the most about them. But maybe you drink more orange pop or a grape or even a Mountain Dew. I would say you can experiment with any kind. Make sure you don't make it too big of an experiment. But when you do it, you do need a procedure, a hypothesis. You need what you used. Today I used 4 2-liters, and I used the little things for Mentos, the little Steve Spangler things that drop the Mentos in. But you can just drop the Mentos in. You have a few seconds. Make sure you wear safety glasses and get back away from your experiment. Always line the experiment up to something so that you can see how high the pop does go. Some pops will blow them up 7 feet. And some, like today, I have a feeling that the coldness that is outside and the fact the pop was a little cold slowed down the dissolving of the Mentos. So that's an experiment there itself, isn't it? We could check warm pop to cold pop and see if that makes a difference. I want you guys to all be safe. Make sure that, I hope you enjoyed the experiment. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. I very much would like to help you or help you set up another experiment. You guys all have a wonderful day. Be safe while you're home, and hopefully we'll see you in person again real soon. All right, bye now.